All right, basics of factoring. First, we're going to start with two terms, okay? When we have two terms, the first thing we look for is GCF, okay? Right now, the thing we'll look for after GCF is difference of squares. And in the future, we will look for sum of cubes and difference of cubes. We're not doing sum of difference of cubes yet. Okay. There's no such thing as sum of squares. We'll go over that. Sum of squares does not work. It is not a thing. So looking at A, is there a GCF there? 3. What would that leave me with? X squared plus 3. Can I factor that any further? No. B, is there a GCF? 1, but so we won't take that out. Can we take the square root of the first term? Yes, what would that be?
X minus 3.
Well, the square root of x squared is x. Can we take the square root of the second term? What would that be? 3. So it would be difference of squares, x plus 3, x minus 3. C, is there a GCF? Yes, what would it be? 2. We take out a 2, what's that leave us with? X squared minus 16. Can we take the square root of both those terms? Yes. So that would give me 2 times x plus 4, 2 times x minus 4. Does the binomial x plus 4 and the binomial x minus 4, does the order of that matter? No, it doesn't, right? It's multiplication. If you FOIL, give you the same either way. D, is there a GCF? No. Can you take the square root of the first term? Can you take the square root of the second term? What's our problem there, though?
You don't know if the square root is going to be positive or negative.
Well, okay, I think you're kind of on the right page. The plus sign right there, right? Is there such thing as sum of squares? No, it doesn't work. So the common mistake here, what do you think most people say that answer would be? They think it would be x plus 3 squared, right? All right, so if you did x plus 3 times x plus 3, and you FOILed that, first would give you x squared, outer would give you 3x, inner would give you 3x, last would give you 9. The middle doesn't cancel, right? X squared plus 6x plus 9 is not x squared plus 9. Sum of squares does not work. It's not a thing, okay? So that's a trick you'll often see thrown in trying to catch you, right? Does everyone have this down? Yeah, I can pause it. 3 terms when A equals 1. 3 terms when A equals 1. Okay? Our first step whenever we factor is what? GCF. Always GCF. Okay? Now, we have 3 terms. If we identify that A equals 1, we're looking for 2 factors of C that add to give us B.
Hey, the screen didn't update.
All right, hold on. We're just getting a little lag here. We'll be all right. All right, so we need 2 factors of C that add to give us B. A, what would be 2 factors of C that add to give us B?
1 and 7.
Good. So we'd have x plus 7 times x plus 1. Does that order matter?
No.
No. B, what are 2 factors of C that add to give us B?
Negative 2 and 6.
Negative 2 and 6. Good.
Bless you.
X plus 6, x minus 2.
That's what I think think you need to go.
C, what do we need to do first there for C?
Divided by 2.
Yes, because we're taking out a
Greatest common factor.
greatest common factor of 2, which leaves you with x squared plus 3x minus 54. You can't forget about that too. All right, what are two factors of negative 54 that add to give us 3?
9 and negative 6.
9 and negative 6. Good.
Nice work.
So again, remember, you can't forget about the GCF you took out. So it'll be 2 times x plus 9 times x minus 6.
Does it matter the order, like the x plus 9, x plus 6?
X minus 6. All right. Next, 4 terms. What's the first thing we do whenever we factor? What do we look for? GCF.
Look at me.
Then from there, since we have 4 terms,
Wait, we didn't get 4 terms.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It says 4. I know.
We have 4 terms.
Okay, well.
We're going to group the first and the last 2 terms together. Group, 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 group. Okay, group, 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 group.
We did. Yeah.
Stop talking. All right. After we group the first 2 and the last 2, we're going to take the GCF of those groups. What would be the GCF of the first group there?
5x squared.
5x squared. And that would leave us with x minus 2. What would be the GCF of my second group? 3. Good. Should leave me with x minus 2. That's a typo there. That should be an x, not an n. I made these at 11 o'clock
Real.
and had some typos. So, sorry. So from here, we treat this as one term, and the GCF of that one term would be x minus 2, and what's left is 5x squared plus 3. And that would be the 4-term polynomial factored.
Wow,
Okay, so when we get to the second step here, when we take out the 5x squared and the 3, what's left in parentheses should be the same. If it's not the same, it means you probably did not take out the greatest common factor. Okay? Doesn't mean you didn't take out a factor, but it would mean you probably didn't take out the greatest common factor. So, looking at B here, there's no GCF, so I'm going to group the first 2 terms and group the second 2 terms. Group, group. What would be the GCF of that first group?
3x squared.
X squared, which would leave me with 3x minus 4. What would be the GCF of my second group? 3, which would leave me with 3x minus 4. So that 4-term polynomial factored would be 3x minus 4 times x squared plus 3. Does the order of 3x minus 4 times x squared plus 3 matter? No, it does not matter. FOIL, multiplication, distribution will give you the same answer either way. All right, so the reason why I did 4 terms then was because when we have 3 terms where a is greater than 1, we'll need to use that grouping technique. So what's our first step whenever we factor? GCF. All right, so if a is greater than 1, we'll do the AC method, which means we'll multiply a times c, and we'll find 2 factors of a times c that add to give us b. Okay. There'll be 2 factors of AC that add to give us b. Example A, this is a typo. Again, that should be 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. That should be a minus 5. Okay. I'll go back and do this again. I'm sorry, I made this late and bad eyes. I'm about to go back and fix it. Hold on. There we go. All right, so that should be 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. So again, a is 3. A is 3. So we'll do the AC method. 3 times negative 5 gives me negative 15. What are two factors of negative 15 that add to give me negative 2?
Negative 5 and positive 3.
Good. Negative 5 and a positive 3. All right. So our next step is we need to split the middle term with our two numbers, with our two factors of AC that add to give us B. All right. We split the middle term with our two factors of AC that add to give us B. Okay. When we split the middle term, that order doesn't matter either. That could be 3x minus 5x. It doesn't have to be negative 5x plus 3x. That order does not matter. We bring down the negative 5. We bring down the 3x squared. Now how many terms do we have? Quattro, 4 terms. How do we factor when we have 4 terms? Grouping. Group. What's the GCF of that first group? X. Leaves us with 3x minus 5. What's the GCF of that second group? There is none. It's 1. Yeah. 3x minus 5. So our answer there would be 3x minus 5 times x plus 1. No GCF, so we'll do AC method. 2 times negative 9 gives us negative 18. What are two factors of negative 18 that add to give us 3?
6 and negative 3.
6 and negative 3, good. All right, so I'll split the middle term with the two factors of negative 18 that add to give me 3. I did 6x minus 3x. That could be flipped. Doesn't matter. Bring down the negative 9 and the 2x squared. How many terms do we have? 4. So we have 4 terms. How do we factor? Grouping. Good. Group. What's my GCF for that first group? 2x. Leaves me with x plus 3. What's the GCF of my second group? Negative 3. Good. If my leading coefficient is negative, I always take out a negative. Okay? If my leading coefficient is negative, I always take out a negative. So I take out a negative 3 there, which leaves me with x plus 3. So I have x plus 3 times 2x minus 3.